Seriously?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
Couldn't resist.
Yeah. Hey, welcome everybody to another episode of Game Set Live. Got some people filing in a little later. Bush is going to try to make it. Vinny's going to try to make it, and Wise will be in here shortly. That's right, Wise Old Gamer, the one who loves the KY Bob Lube. Can't get enough of it. That's right.
I mean, we hope those guys appear somehow or
Some way,
someday,
yeah.
but
You know,
yeah. That would be lovely.
it's the Bobby and Fabi show. Until then, uh, what you see on
Of
what you see on
of
screen
course, you can
is
say.
the I recorded the basically the very beginning of First Descendant, setting up the story. Cut out the gameplay that shows you like learning to play and button prompts and stuff like that. So you get just the story setup, cinematics up until some combat that Bob proves he can shoot better than he could back in
Hmm.
the yeah. I know. So anyway, just to give everybody a taste, the gameplay on here, the setup of the story. Whether or not it is free to play on every platform, so if you want to give it a shot, if you like what you see, I encourage you because so far I'm having a pretty good time with it. Uh, Fabio, sir, how are you doing? What have you been playing?
Well, I'm great. Thanks so much. It was a pleasure to be here. And what I've been playing, well, that's a pretty good question. No, yeah, quite simple. Of course, Halo Infinite. I'll never stop playing some Halo because Halo is life, Halo is happiness, Halo is Xbox, basically. And other than that, I've been playing some Crackdown 3. Yes, hate me as much as you like. I don't care. I just enjoy playing Crackdown 3, especially because some achievements are quite easy to get. And I was like, yeah, why not? I got some time to play, and I've been playing that. And I've been also playing little bit of Sonic coming from that Sega Dreamcast collection.
Oh,
And basically that's it.
wow. I tell you what, man, you love your vintage games. Yes, yes, you do. It
I
was,
try I t-
yeah.
I've been quite like how can I say this? I've been quite addicted in going back playing some backwards compatible games, honestly. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's good. That's good. You gotta know where you came from to know where you're going, right? So Bob here, I've played some First Descendant. I've played some survival games on Steam. I've played some Days Gone on my PlayStation. I even started up Death Stranding for a few minutes, and then I got tired of walking and decided to turn it off. But yeah,
You uninstalled the entire game
no, I
to
didn't
never play it
uninstall the
again.
because the game is gorgeous and the physics are awesome. It's just
Hmm.
the cutscenes are bar none. The story and the cutscenes to Death Stranding is amazing. It's just the travel and the gameplay between them. It's like nails on a chalkboard. Yeah,
The problem is just everything else. Oh,
Ex-
just kidding.
exactly.
I'll stop. It's just simple. It looks great, but the game is shit. No, I'm not gonna be saying something like that because cannot say that. I haven't played Death Stranding, so I'm not allowed to give my opinion towards gameplay whatsoever.
It is on the Xbox PC store, by the way. You can play it through
I
the
know, but
Xbox
I don't play.
PC app. Hmm.
The just a small detail. I don't play on PC, so yeah.
One day, Fabio. Me and Vinny are gonna
I you're going.
me and Vinny are gonna convert you. We're gonna do it.
You, Vinny, and Weapon X Machina.
Yep, yep. So, anyway,
You.
um,
Mm, come on,
this
let's go.
the meat of this episode, as you can tell in the thumbnail, is going to be about the Game Pass price hike, which
Exactly.
it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't bother me. I understand it. I have one issue with it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the only issue I got is that we know these games are. We all saw the showcase. We all saw the games that are coming, and so do I understand the price hike? Yes, especially when you consider that $3 extra to Game Pass Ultimate over a 2 year period, you've still not spent enough money that you would if you just bought one $70 game plus tax.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is,
I mean,
go ahead.
go on, go on.
Well,
No, no, it's just because for some reason people prefer a lot of people, a lot of haters prefer to like let's just talk about the value on Game Pass when you are just analyzing how much you pay per year. So like but it's 200 what people say like $240 or something like that before in 1 year for Game Pass, but like still, how many games can you play on game through Game Pass in a year? So like the value continues to be there. It's not as if you were like, oh yeah, I'm going to subscribe to Game Pass in January, and then I am going to wait for a game that's going to be released only in November or December, and then I will be able to unsubscribe to the service because I already played the game. Like, come on, you can play way more from its library throughout the year, and you will be able to find something that you enjoy.
right, right. The problem that I have is okay. The people that are already subscribers, they don't see that price hike until September, which is understandable if you look at it. September, about a month after the price hike happens, we get Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Okay, that
Hmm.
makes sense. But why are you charging the people who aren't subscribers yet that subscribe right now? Like the people that subscribe right now get the new price right away, but the people that are already subscribed don't get it till September. And I've got a theory for that. Because if you get Game Pass right now, you could get the 6 months at the reduced price,
Hmm.
before the price hike. And then you would be able to experience Black Ops 6 without the price hike until the six
Hmm.
months is up, which puts you into January. That's why
Okay.
they waited until only 5 months left in the year. They waited so now they can say, okay, new ones get it, and the ones that are already subscribed, which, if you're monthly, if you pay monthly, then you do get a benefit because you don't see a price hike at all until September. And if you've already paid for six
Hmm.
months, if you've already got 6 months in, well then you get a couple months there that you don't have to pay the increase. But still, December, January, it puts you into the increased price hike. So I think that's why they went ahead and did it the way they did it. That way, people who can't just jump in and get 6 months right now and get Call of Duty Black Ops 6 for 2.5 months at the discounted price or the old price of Game Pass, they have to pay the new price in case they got in with 6 months instead of monthly. But the
Hmm.
people, yeah, it still doesn't make any. It sucks. I know it does. But with the games in the pipe, we know we're getting, Avowed, Indiana Jones, Doom Dark Ages, Perfect Dark, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, State of Decay 3. I know these games aren't coming this year, but they are in the 2 year window from this point on, the 2 year window that we're talking about, that you will pay that $3 extra for 2 years and still not have as much as you would have bought a $70 game plus tax. So when you take
Hmm.
all that into
Hmm.
account, it just makes sense. I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah.
I mean, when you go through the business value of the thing and you remember what Phil Spencer has been saying over and over throughout this year, which is like, I need to make this business sustainable to Microsoft. I need to make Microsoft understands that we are getting benefits by giving you benefits as well. And so the way that they found is by doing this price increase, and when you take into consideration the amount of value that Game Pass just got, because now they are going to be, it's going to be like the home of Call of Duty and all Activision Blizzard games. Yeah, it does make sense. But by the way, no, it isn't a welcome change. Nobody is going to be celebrating for a price increase on anything. So even though I don't like the idea, I'm not a fan of price increases. I would say, for fuck's sake, why are you doing that? I'm not a fan of this. I totally understand why they are doing it, but yeah, I just leave my complaint because yeah, I don't like to spend more money on the same thing that I was already paying for. But my main issue with this change is just like because they decided to create a brand new tier for Xbox Game Pass, and honestly, this is just makes everything get so much confusing for some reason.
Yeah, Microsoft, they can't, and I think it's because they try to cater to every different type of person instead of just being like, this is the way it is, and if you want this, you get it all. If you don't, well, then you can buy your games at full price and play online. That's what I think it should be. I think you should have your $9.99 service, which gets you Xbox Live Gold, essentially. Online play updates, blah 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 blah. Cloud saves, blah 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 blah. And I like the way that comes out. Blah 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 blah. I digress. So
Quite interesting.
I would like to see a $10,
Okay.
just basic. So, I know I hate that you have to pay for online with consoles, but it has always been that way. And
It
I
is
don't.
what it is. The
It is what
business
it is.
has always been like that.
Yeah, and until a big dog, one of the big three here, unless Nintendo, Sony, or Microsoft step up and say, "That's it. We're no longer charging you for online." It's it's not gonna. The rest of them aren't going to
It's
adopt it.
never.
Yeah.
I mean, it's never going to happen because why would they decide to not try to get more money even through this? Like, but the thing that got me really confused is with the creation of this brand new tier where we got a tier that does not give us day one on Game Pass. So before on Xbox Game Pass, we had the Game Pass Core, which gave you online console multiplayer. It gave you the a limited catalog of 25 games that would be rotational on console, as well as you get member deals and discounts. Basically, it's equivalent to the Xbox Live Gold where you would get some games there and you would get the online as well as deals. That's it. That's a Game Pass core experience. It's equivalent to Xbox Live Gold, honestly. And after after Game Pass Core, we had the Game Pass Ultimate tier, which give you everything online, the 25 games from the Game Pass Core catalog, member deals and discounts, all the Game Pass game catalog with hundreds of games, day one game editions, perks and discounts on the games from the Game Pass library, EA Play, as well as some benefits from Riot Games, as well as Xbox Cloud Gaming. And besides that, we had the PC Game Pass, which like adds has basically everything minus minus having to pay for the online and the Xbox Cloud gaming service there. That was the way they were doing this before and kind of made sense in my opinion, but they decided to create this brand new tier which is called Game Pass Standard, which is going to give you online console multiplayer, okay, 25 catalog of games from Game Pass Core, nice. Member deals and discounts. The Game Pass catalog with hundreds of games, okay, seems fair, but does not give you at all the day one game editions from Xbox Game Studios, Bethesda, Activision Blizzard, ID Xbox, and selected third party games. Now, the issue with that is that, okay, you're not going to give to the people from this tier the game on day one. When are they going to be getting it? Is there going to be a consistency? Do they have to wait 3 months, 6 months, a year? Or is it going to be really just, it's going to depend on the game? Some games may take 6 months, other games can take 2 years. Because it's like the messaging got really confused. And honestly, I don't know, it's just really, really bizarre what they decided to go with here, in my opinion. Like, to me, it makes no sense for them to create this new tier. Honestly, I can understand. Yeah, we are trying to make more money by creating a brand new tier for people that don't want to have such a simple experience from Game Pass Core and not wanna and don't wanna pay the full thing from Game Pass Ultimates. But still, you are taking away the day one editions, which was like the main highlights from the service since the beginning.
Yep. I mean, that's why you go out and you get developers and stuff. Uh, you acquire developers to put games in your. Well, people are going to want the new games from those developers. It's the whole point.
Exactly.
That is why
In
I'm going to stand on. I'm going to die on my soapbox and say there should be two tiers. You either get the classic Xbox Live Gold experience, or you get everything.
Yeah, so it would be just Game Pass Core or Game Pass Ultimate, equivalent to what was already established before this brand new tier. And
Yeah.
like they decided to make this Game Pass standard, which I don't know, like it's Game Pass standard instead of like Game Pass console. Because by the way, they they killed the Game Pass console thing. That's console tier for some reason. They decided to make this Game Pass standard as a replacement. And one thing that, in my opinion, okay, looking through here through these charts that Club Brew decided to make, makes less sense to me to the point where, okay, so Game Pass standard is 14.99 a month for online, 25 game catalog, Game Pass catalog, member deals and discounts, and none of the rest. No day one, no perks, and no EA Play, and no cloud gaming.
Mm-hmm.
PC, on the other hand, gets everything, and it is 11.99 a month because they don't have to pay for the internet
Yeah.
or an internet Xbox internet service. I mean, of course.
Yeah. So if that's the case, if you're dropping $8 because you don't have to do the internet on your computer because you're already paying for that service, somewhere else. If that's an $8 decrease, so you get it for $12 on PC, then okay, make Game Pass Ultimate $20 and the core, the core experience, the classic Xbox Live Gold, make it $8. There you go.
Yep.
I mean, because it's either, go big or go home, or just have the online capability. Is what the way I look at it. That has to be the way it is. Because you're gonna when you get
Yeah.
when you get everything or nothing. Let's just say nothing is just online. Everything or nothing. To me, that's worth $12 extra. It is. It's an easy sell.
Hmm.
When you're trying to get somebody into Game Pass or into the ecosystem, having to look at a chart to decide what you want is not the way to go. Imagine if you're trying to explain this to somebody over the phone. It's ludicrous. I'm like, okay, now what did you just say a half an hour ago? I get what with not what? Okay, now how does that compare to this? Oh my god, it's just it's nuts. It makes no sense.
Yeah, I really don't understand what they are going with. But still, Game Pass continues to be the best deal in gaming. It continues to have that huge value throughout the year. And I would suggest to people to try your best to find any sort of Xbox Game Pass gift card of which for what I have, the gift cards still have
Mm-hmm.
the previous price tag, and just get as many as you can.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just okay. The silver lining here is that this was a pretty substantial increase. I mean, it's not like they nickel and dimed us, like, okay, well, this 6 months or this year it's going to be $1, and then next year we find out, oh, it's going to be another dollar. No, I mean, they came right out and increased the service by $3. That's a pretty substantial increase, which makes me think that this price may stand for a couple years before they touch it again. It's not going to be like next year. Oh, it's going up again. No, it went up pretty substantial. It's $3. That's a lot.
I mean,
On a monthly service, that's a
I mean,
lot.
in my opinion, if they are going to be increasing the price somehow of Game Pass once again, it has to be for a really good reason. Like either they acquire another publisher, or they should not increase the price anymore, because every because like we were all already expecting for Game Pass to have a price increase when the Activision Blizzard game acquisition was announced. And now people are like, some people are like, yes, like we were already expecting for it to happen. Like, were you thinking that was going to remain the same price after that? You nuts? And like, if they are going to, like, let's say in 5 years or in 6 years, they are going to increase the price up again, and they haven't made any sort of acquisition, there's no new announcement of new added value for people to kind of quote unquote justify a price increase, then it's going to make less and less sense as they are increasing the price, because people are not going to understand, and it's going to be like a really bad PR for
Look, yeah,
them.
if
It would be a really bad move.
yeah, okay. If we experience another 4 years, which after the showcase, I don't think we're going to. But let's say for some reason we experience another 4 years, just like the last 4 years, where it's a trickle. drop in the bucket every once in a while to say, oh, look, yeah, okay, I'll keep Game Pass. If that happens
Mm-hmm.
and then we get another price increase, it's like, oh no, buddy, I'm done. I'm just gonna buy the games I want, and I'm not gonna try anything unless I'm absolutely sure that I'm gonna like it. So I'll buy it. If that happens, then yeah, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
But if the showcase lives up to the hype, and that trickle turns into a flow of games, and we have a steady flow of games over the next 4 years, and all these developers are hitting on all cylinders, and every game is like a high 70 or a low 80 meta at least, and they're very decent games. Then in 5 to 6 years, I would be apt for some sort of an increase, because I will say, hey, look, this is actually the money we're paying for this service is actually helping these developers. The developers are thriving in this ecosystem. I would understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got a
And we lost.
Wise was here.
We had that there we go. He's back. He's back. You okay there?
Wise.
He isn't okay there. He's dead. He's dead. Wise, can you
Got
hear
to
us?
Go into your settings and yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
can y'all
lord,
hear,
he's just
can y'all hear me?
there.
Yeah, we can hear
There
you.
we go. How you doing?
Okay, good. I'm having problems here. Can you tell? How do I? Crap! I hate fucking Discord. How do I change the volume on the output volume, like from my computer to my headphones? Like, how would I do that? Like, I'm not that too familiar with Discord and crap.
Let me check here. Let me go
Go
see.
'Cause I'm still
here.
getting the-
Setting-
Okay, go to settings, go to
Settings.
voice and video. There it is.
Where's voice?
It's the last item, like one of the last items there from settings of the app or something like that.
Okay, I
App
see it.
settings.
Add to the very top. Set your output, set your input, and set your levels.
Yeah, and normally when I do this, like normally like it normally goes through my Roadcaster, so I was kind of surprised that it didn't go through the Roadcaster anymore. So
While you boys are talking over that situation, I'm gonna have some dinner and I'll be back soon enough. Ha ha! Gotcha. See you boys later.
Oh goodness. So Wise Old Gamer, how you been, brother? How's things going? Wise? Did you get yourself disconnected again? Hello? Wise Old Gamer? You had everything just right, and then you had to start messing with settings, and he's gone again. So, yeah, I enjoyed my time with First Descendant that you see on the screen. Yeah, I'll get back into it. It just, I don't know. It kind of made me thirst for wanting to go back and play Warframe. Kind of made me want to pick Outriders back up too. It just, yeah. And it's like totally like drop in, drop out. Like literally, if you go and you start a mission, then anybody in the world that's there can walk up and just join mission, and which is like really cool. Like, I start this mission right here with Bunny.
Hey,
Hey, PC Master Race, you so Vinny. What's up, brother? How you doing, Vinny?
yo, sorry I'm late. I was out of town.
Oh, that's
Just
all
coming
right,
back
man.
in.
Yeah, life comes first, brother.
Yeah, there's construction that I wasn't expecting, so it took me about an hour longer to get home.
Ooh, that's nasty. I'll have the helicopter pick you up and take you around tomorrow. That way you get around over that construction.
All right. I'm here at 0500. Meet me there.
So, Are you keeping your Game Pass subscription?
Catch you later. Don't push yourself too hard.
My PC Game Pass, I'm keeping.
Oh, look at him
Ultimates. All in on the PCMR. I gotta tell you, it's one of a kind. You get all the best. You get the best of all worlds.
Yeah.
But the reason why I'm switching from Game Pass Ultimate to Game Pass or PC Game Pass is because it's mainly because one, I mainly use PC now, and my wife who plays on the Series S doesn't really use Game Pass because she plays Halo Infinite multiplayer, and you know she's only interested in Resident Evils, which I have all of them on Xbox. So
Yeah.
I'm just keeping PC Game Pass because you still get day ones and you still get EA Play and all the other games that Game Pass has to offer that aren't locked to consoles. And it's only $12 a month.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can't say that I blame you. I mean, I do just as. It's a little different now. It's more like It's like 70-30 PC to Xbox. Some titles I still hop on Xbox with, but I don't know. I'll just keep the Ultimate. That way, I've got the wide net across all platforms and cloud service and all that fun jazz.
I will say, if they improve their xCloud, make cloud gaming a lot better, then I'll switch back to Ultimate because I think cloud gaming is really cool. And if they partner with NVIDIA GeForce, that's like amazing. That's definitely worth getting Ultimate for. But until they do, yeah, PC Game Pass.
Yeah. We just need one of the big three to come out and do it first and say, okay, online play, we're not going to charge you for that anymore. They need somebody to step up to the plate and do it first, and the rest will follow.
Exactly. And you know, like honestly, I've been telling a couple of my buddies this. Just add a online play subscription that's just strictly online, you know, like and it includes cloud saves maybe. That's like $20 a year, $30 a year. Like I think trying to force your customers to go from $60 a year, and then this is in regards to Xbox and PlayStation, so both of them, to $75-$80 a year. I just think that's I think you're gonna lose more subscribers than you're hoping to gain that way.
Yeah, we were talking about that shortly before you came in. I think it should be you either get the classic Xbox Live Gold experience, or you get it all. We'll make a subscription service where you get the classic Xbox Live Gold with no Game Pass involved. If you want to buy your games and be able to play them online and all that happy jazz, or you pay for everything. You just like make it two tiers.
Yeah,
So you
exactly.
get this. I think they're trying to cater to too many different different groups of people.
Yeah.
When you go and you decide you want to get Game Pass, you have to literally look at a freaking graph to know which one you want. And it's like, it shouldn't be that way.
Not only that, you got to look at the explanations of which one includes what. Like, it should be way simpler. I don't know who is in charge of like their onboarding for Game Pass, but they need to be fired, and they got to hire somebody from Apple or something.
You get what is it? Apple Arcade. There's no different. You don't have different levels of it. There's only one level. You get either have it or you don't. And yeah, it's like, okay, well, let's have 4 different subscription services and 7 different consoles, and just stop confusing the hell out.
Some include online play, some don't. You got to figure that out.
Yeah, and this this curated list of 25 games, what exactly is in here? Well, we can't really give you a list of that right now because it changes all the time, and I'm like, okay. Take my money and just give me
whatever, buddy.
everything.
Yeah, like
Just give me everything. Maybe that's what they're doing, dude. Maybe they're trying to make it so confusing that everybody says just, okay, I'm tired of thinking. Here, Ultimate, just give me everything. I know I've got everything, no matter what.
they're like, oh, thank you. Yeah. They're like, oh, thank you so much for your contribution. Unfortunately, we just raised the price, so you're like, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no. Oh, I don't know. I mean, it could, if they live up to the showcase that we saw, and that trickle and that drip in the bucket turns into a flow, then okay, it's worth it. If not, it's not. But you know,
Yeah.
I'll stick with it until the wife goes, man, that went up, didn't it? We should end the subscription. And I'll say, well, we can end yours. We're not ending mine. Oh,
Yeah.
man. So what have you been playing, Vinny?
First Ascendant and Warframe. First Ascendant got me back into Warframe. I really like both games, and I think they're both really cool. Because First Ascendant takes a lot of inspiration from Warframe, so it's automatically got me hooked. But I'm really enjoying it. It's really cool. What about you?
Well, yeah. First Ascendant's what's on screen right now. I've been playing First Ascendant. I've been playing some survival games on Steam. I don't know why I keep playing Days Gone. I wish that game had gotten a sequel, but no. Shut
You're
down.
just Jones and for Oh, Days Gone. I thought you meant State of Decay. Yeah.
Oh no! I mean,
Unfortunately.
I've thought about State of Decay too. I mean, I really have. I've actually moved it off of my my mechanical drive onto the SSD, and I'm like, I'm gonna start you up, and no, I'm not. I'm gonna play something else. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a good co-op game that hopping into it by myself, I know I'll just be in a half an hour and go, okay, I scratched the itch. I don't play no more. But yeah, other than
Yeah.
that, I
State
have
of Decay
been-
looks really, number 3 looks good, so looking
I've
forward
been
to that.
so I used to do a lot of I got a lot of drones and a lot of helicopters, and I used to fly them all the time. And my son has shown an interest to some of my. I haven't touched them in like 4 years, and my son has shown an interest to some of my drones, and so I think I've brushed the dust off of them and done some maintenance on them, and had to order some batteries because all my lipos they're all kind of swollen, you know, from age and not being used and being in storage. So I've got new batteries.
They're all
on
pregnant
order.
with the new baby drone.
Yes, I've got Amazon orders for new batteries and some new parts, and I think I'm gearing up for a father-son hobby. Yeah, so that'd be cool.
There we go. American Dream. Let's go.
Yeah. Make sure I'll make sure he learns on the cheaper one instead of the more expensive one. Crash that one. Although that's the one with GPS, and it's probably less likely he will crash that one. But you know, we'll see. Oh man.
Well, let's just find out, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. So I'm early on in First Descendant. Can you like, what are the weapons like in First Descendant? Is there just 3 tiers of weapons?
Kind of like Destiny.
Oh really?
No. There's so there's scout rifles, there's tactical rifles, which is like the BR from Halo. There's assault rifles, which are automatic, submachine guns, hand cannons, they're pretty good. Shotguns, as well as rocket launchers, so, and heavy machine guns.
Wow, look, we've got Bush.
We got Bush.
We got
What's going on,
Bush.
George Bush, what's up?
What it do?
Looking a
Vinny,
little
you
darker
cracked me
than
up.
the last time I saw you.
Little Vinny, PCMR Vinny, huh?
Yes, sir. All day,
You
every
got a
day.
PC for like a week, and now you PCMR?
It's been like years at this point.
I'm messing with you. Hey,
No,
Yeah.
you guys play First Ascendant yet?
That's what's on
no,
screen
man.
right now.
That's what we're playing.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah. Bobby, you look like you're all right. You look like you're at home at this game. I'm glad to see that.
Well,
But
I'm gonna.
what y'all talk about that yet? Or y'all still talking about Game Pass?
No, we're just talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just now talking about
First
it.
Ascendant or Game Pass?
First Descendant.
Let me ask y'all this: doesn't the
Ask
First
away.
Ascendant shooting sound like and play like Anthem?
A little bit. It kind of reminds me of Anthem, a lot of Warframe, and then a little bit of Destiny.
To me, the
I downloaded. I just ain't played it yet.
to me the feel of it, as far as like the movement and stuff, it reminds me of Outriders.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
I think it's better than Outriders, personally.
Yeah,
What you laughing at, Vinny? Outriders was a good game.
it was a good game.
Who
It's
you laughing
cool.
at, Vincent?
This is a solid 7.
Nah, you was laughing like it was trash.
Yeah.
You know those 7s, man.
Wow, Vincent. No, you didn't. Wise wasted with Wise.
Sorry,
Whoa,
guys, about that. I had a
wasted with was.
I had a tech issue. So you know how to fix most tech issues, right?
Yep, turn it off and back on.
Exactly.
Wise's computer.
Yeah, I was.
Never fails.
Wise's
That's the
computer
first thing you can
has
do.
been in sleep mode for like 7 weeks. He never shuts it off. He just
He's
lets it
been
go
gathering
to
the
sleep.
chakra.
Yeah, something like that. I'll just let it go to sleep, and then yeah. Actually, I'm playing my Switch right now. I'm playing the Mario Wonder. I'm gonna finish this game today. So yeah,
Hell yeah.
You Wonderland.
Hopping back.
pretty good
I
actually.
wonder how long it's gonna take you.
Hey, so
Well, I mean, I use this game as a way of relaxing. So
Yeah.
I need to get
He's a
Mr.
litmus test.
I need to get
Yeah.
Mr. Bush.
Someone give it to Biden.
I need to get Mr. Bush and Wiseau
Who'd you say?
Gamers
Probably.
take on the Game Pass price increase, guys. Mr. Bush, Wise, go for it.
go ahead.
No, you go. Take it off.
Yeah, Mr. Wise. Yeah.
That's Game of the Wise.
Well, I mean, it. Am I shocked? No. I mean, it does. Like we sort of knew this one was coming for a while now, and truth be told, $15 for what they're providing, in my opinion, is quite cheap in today's time. I was expecting that thing for Ultimate to be $20 or something when it first launched. So it hitting around 20. What was it going up to $22.99 now? I think is the price, right? So
No,
per month.
no, it's 19.
How much is it per month? It was like
19,
it's-
$19.99.
19.
I thought it was like 20 something. I thought it was like for Xbox Ultimate. It was like
I think I
I think
remember.
that's
it being-
23 Canadian now.
no
Yeah.
23 Canadian. I must have read the wrong article, but yeah, $20 is a fair price. I mean that if you do the math, it's like 240, which is roughly about I'd say maybe plus or minus 4 games depending on sales, etc. Right? It's well worth the buy-in price or the asking price. I don't think what they're asking for what they're offering is too egregiously too much. I mean, $20 for you to play Game Pass both on console and PC, and you get day one for Xbox. And they seem to be releasing it in steady cadence. Like we got Avowed coming this year, and I'm looking forward to Avowed. We got what was that other game? Indiana Jones coming out this year. Most likely Halo's on launch. I mean, not Halo, but Fable's on launch for next year. Probably South of Midnight next year as well.
Call of
In
Duty
addition, you
Black
get
Ops
EA
6.
Play. Yeah, and of course, Black Ops that goes without saying. So I think the buy-in price is is fine, and I think that they made a strategical move to increase it now before the launch of Black Ops 6 because they know that that's going to be their big
Mhm.
push to get most new subscribers because Black Ops is Black Ops, right? No, irrespective of the fact that I just play for the single player campaign, but most people play it for online. So I understand why they're doing it, and I can't fault them for doing it.
Fab Five Freddy.
Why would I be upset? I mean, PlayStation went up and they're not offering as much as Xbox is,
Not even
and
close.
no,
How
not
dare
even
you.
close.
They're
So
offering Lego Horizon.
Oh,
yeah, they're offering Horizon. Yeah. Now, I mean, now I was listening to KY. I was listening to what you were saying earlier before I had that tech issue regarding that. You said you were, and I may have caught it on the wrong end of the conversation where you're saying that you're gonna maybe give it a trial and see how it goes, and if it's not worth it, then you're probably just gonna buy a la carte via games. And I mean, everyone needs to make that decision. I mean, it's how much is it worth it for you? For me, $20, have it anywhere is a no brainer.
Yeah,
So
Oh, for
I mean,
Bobby, that's in the bucket. So
well, what we were
money's not a thing.
what we were
Mhm.
discussing, if we experience another 3 to 4 years like the last 3 or 4 years, where it's just a drop in the bucket here and there, then it's not worth it. But if
You ever
Yeah,
see
yeah.
Bobby? You ever see Bobby take off inside his minivan with his family?
oh jeez,
When he rolls the windows down, nothing but money falls out.
God.
I thought that was dope. He
Yeah,
flexed
but
that.
then
He flexed that
he
himself
needs all
too.
the money to, lure in all those little children and everything in the van anyway. So there you go.
Oh, that's
To lure his kids,
horrible.
to lure his kids into the bed.
But if the floodgates do open and they open that spigot up and we get a nice flow of games, then yes, it is worth it.
Looks like we are though.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's always been that has always been Xbox's main problem. It's not been the services, it's not been the infrastructure. Everything else, sort of it falls
It's
in
the
line with
message.
anything else. It's
It's the
always
message
been
in the marketing.
it's the marketing number one, and number two is releasing these zeitgeist type games on a steady cadence. Games that are in the lexicon. What people are talking about. That's what they need to be releasing. Good quality games at a steady cadence. Yeah, and I think it'll be fine. I mean, and then that's always been the problem. Now, if hopefully their idea of increasing it means that they know at least the playbook for the next couple of years. I would presume Phil Spencer or Matt Booty or whoever, Sarah Bond, should know what they have immediately that's going to be coming out and what's in the pipe works for the next couple of years. So hopefully they made the right strategic decision and said, okay, now would be the good time to increase it because going forward, we will have a steady cadence of games. And you're right. If they ever have a year like last year where they don't release anything, what was it, last year? Year before last? Anyhow, then it will be a big problem. But at this point in
Last year was
time,
really, really good actually.
what now?
Last year was actually pretty good.
Yeah,
The year
last
before
year.
that. Yeah.
It wasn't it like the year before where we
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
didn't
year
have anything? Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the year
20.
before guys nada. So
Yeah. Remember?
Yeah.
But you would venture to say that they shouldn't be having a year like that, irrespective of the fact that they have a streaming service or not. Like in general, any major publisher, Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, should not go an entire year without releasing a first party IP, whether that is for at full retail price or for their subscription service, right?
It's a little
So
different with gaming though, because I think that with gaming, especially when you're just starting to build your streaming service,
Mhm.
you're gonna run into times where your studio might need another year. I think I think sometimes we forget that the Hulus, the Netflixes, um, they had their times where they had either no content, which mostly was third party,
Mhm.
or when they first started to do their own first party, it was a slow trickle. Once they became big and they started to grow as far as the studios were concerned, and somebody had the genius to say, "Hey, we got content over in Korea and Brazil and all these other countries. You might as well use them on every streaming service instead of just
Right.
inside those regions.
Hmm.
And it worked out. And a lot of those shows are really freaking good. But
Uh,
Vincent, you cut me off?
Oh, I was just about to say. Shout out to Early Days Netflix. Shout out to Toxic Avenger.
Early days Netflix. Yo, early days Netflix. I'm surprised it survived this long. It was kind of bad sometimes. It was like these
It
movies
was
terrible.
horrible. It was all the movies you
They
don't want
really
to watch.
were.
Yep.
And then they lost the contract with was it Fox or Paramount? Yeah, what it was one of the biggest studios, and they lost them. And they lost a ton of their good movies. And I was like, you got to be kidding!
Oh
There's no
yeah, it was
reason to have
Disney. They pulled
It
out
did-
all their Marvel stuff.
Yes, for the no, before that. No. When it was still when they were still
Oh,
sending out
Fox. It was Fox because they pulled out
was Fox.
Smallville.
Yep.
All
they put out a lot of good content.
But you see,
And
the thing
everybody
was
was like,
this. The
It
thing
did.
was this. With the reason Netflix survived that period of time when they didn't have all this stuff and people were pulling out was because they were new to the game. I mean, the idea of a streaming service was fresh at that time. Like
Right.
the beauty of Netflix when it went all streaming was the convenience, right? You don't have to worry about DVDs and returning them or Blu-rays and returning them or whatever, right? You just whatever show you wanted, click, and if your internet was fast enough, it was immediately accessible to you. So that was a new thing, and that was a new paradigm because before then, you had to catch it whenever it aired, and then if you missed it, well, you missed it, or if you had to record it or whatever, buy it. So Netflix was given that grace, if you will, to sort of develop its own first party offering and go through all of the growing pains of a streaming service because they were really the first on the market doing it
And they weren't
to an
expensive.
appreciable extent. And they weren't expensive
Yeah,
too.
they weren't
So
expensive.
it worked out for them, Whereas
Right.
gaming is a different story. It's a different beast altogether, right? It doesn't. And see, this is where I think a lot of Xbox gamers and a lot, maybe even the corporate people, are sort of like missing it, right? Because Bushido, you said gaming is different. Yes, it is different. You can't go an entire year on your platform and not offer compelling content to your player base. Period. Irrespective of the fact of that, if that content is coming via a streaming paradigm or from a traditional retail paradigm. So that being said, yeah, I mean, they shouldn't be doing it anyways, irrespective of the fact that they're doing it on a streaming service. And this is what they don't realize. We don't care as gamers how we access.
About to
Yeah.
say that.
I mean, we really don't. I mean,
let me jump in on you real quick.
Yeah.
I think as gamers,
mhm.
forget about rational gamers like us that know more information and stick with information about the business. The problem is for the average gamer, they don't keep up with nothing. And whatever information they're exposed to is unfortunately either IGN, Kotaku, or whatever else. And so their knowledge of the game industry is very low. So the only thing they know is this game's not coming out. This game is taking forever to come out because those clickbait videos, they make it seem to them that, oh, well, this should have came out then if they're saying it. This should have been done. But they don't know that the process of making games is 5 to 7 years. If anything, closer to 7. But
Mhm.
I mean, nowadays it is.
yeah,
5 to
nowadays,
7.
yes, exactly.
Like,
'Cause
like
during the
the
360 era, it was 2 years,
the 360 era was so simpler.
wasn't it? It
Well,
only
you
took
see,
3
and
years.
see, therein also lies the
That's
problem, right?
amazing.
Because therein lies the problem as well. Because a lot of gamers a lot of people, like a lot of these corporate guys, think that okay, in order for a game to come out from a first-party development house, it should be a AAA, otherwise nothing else at all.
True.
And that may not necessarily be the case. I mean, we just want to play compelling content. We don't really care how we access that compelling content, as long as we are able to get compelling content. And I know you guys are gonna be up in arms when I say this company, but I will say it because they are the best in the game when it comes to this. You look at Nintendo, right? Their AAA's would be your 3D. Yeah, your AAA's.
You're
are gonna
out
be
of here. You're out
No.
of here. Never like to.
No,
Don't wanna see
no,
you
no,
ever
no,
again.
let me explain my point, and I'll log off. I promise. But Their
No,
triple
no. God damn it.
their triple A's, the ones that they spend a lot of money behind, are your 3D Mario games and your 3D Zelda games and stuff. But they say, okay, yeah, we will give you guys that. But then they also have these short spectrum games that still leverage the IP, but not in the big 3D paradigm. Like if you look at, like, for example, the game that I'm playing right now, Wonder, right? Wonder is not considered a AAA game even by Nintendo. Is it a great 2D Mario game? Yes. Is it a fun experience? Yes. Did it probably cost them as much money to make this game versus a 3D Mario? Probably not. They probably made it in half the time or whatever, and it probably costed them less, but they made good money off of this. So
I wonder how much money.
I don't know how many that
A lot of money, all right,
Yes,
Fabio.
You see what I did there?
They made it
And then when the
rain,
games Wonder-
Fabio. They made it
Sorry.
rain.
Well, I think Wonder sold upwards of
Not
10
all
million,
of
right?
Cabela's.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to do the joke.
No, but it didn't it sell 10 million plus at least? I think Wonder sold 10 million. I think it's a 10 million seller from
I thought it was a
Nintendo.
little more than that. I thought it was like 15, but what do
Yeah.
I know?
But I mean, but you
Just-
see the point, right? I mean, they got their they got their ROI, and they were able to feed the user base who is fans of either the IP and or the game type, if you will, right? And they were able to do it in a short, more protracted experience that probably didn't cost them much. So this is something that I think PlayStation actually really does need to learn. And I think Layden was actually alluding to that fact that, not all games need to be a 40-hour epic masterpiece. You
Yeah.
can do a smaller game that is a 10-hour stint, leveraging your IP, may not be with all the graphical bells and whistles of your traditional AAA, but you can still get your ROI, and the player base will be happy. I mean, look at
I'm
Astrobot,
gonna
right?
not in there for one time, and I'm gonna shut up after that, and
Mhm.
hopefully Vincent will talk. I know Fabio will, but you just have to just
Ah,
shut up. So you can
fuck.
talk. So-
I mean, like that? Seriously? Ah,
All right, so look, when you think about it, there's some AA games
Mhm.
that are about 30 hours, and they are really freaking excellent. A Plague's Tale, Plague's Tale 2, It Takes Two. One of my favorite is Control.
Oh yeah.
When I found out that was a AA game, you could have knocked me over with a feather. That game that's one of my favorite games.
Mhm.
From Remedy or from anybody. Very good game. Hades. What Evil West is another one. There's a couple more I could think of, but The Surge.
Mhm.
I don't know how Greedfall did. I'm looking at a list now. Now I gotta look at the list because I don't remember the rest of these other games. It Takes Two. Baldur's Gate.
No, I wouldn't.
No,
I don't
double
know.
game?
Would you call Baldur's Gate a double A or triple A?
That's
That's
what it's
I
on the list. It's on the list for AA.
I mean, I guess it's like it depends on like what your criteria for a triple A is. Is it about?
Double A is the Sifu is another one. Double A is considered this. It is the budget that you spend on the game. So any game that is 60 million and below, that's a
Mhm.
double A game.
so
if it-
Baldur's Gate is triple, I think. Like that game, for it to be the way it is, it must have cost like amazingly high.
yeah, if it didn't cost them more than 60 million, then it's considered double A. I'm gonna look
I'll
that up
be-
while you.
I would
Or-
definitely be surprised if it was actually double A. I'm actually already surprised that Control is double A, honestly.
I was shocked. I was shocked. I'm not even gonna lie. When
Well,
I found out
there's
that
a
was
lot of
double A.
those experiences. Remember the goal? Like everyone looks fondly upon the PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 4, and you know why they do that? Because, especially in the PlayStation 2 era, not only did we get AAAs, but we also got a fair share of AAs. I mean, back in the day, like Jack and Daxter would not be considered a AAA game. I mean, it's a AA game, but it was really good. Ratchet and Clank started off as a AA game. I don't know what you would call it now, but it was definitely a AA. Sly Cooper. I mean, those were the
Baldur's Gate
endearing
is not a
games.
double A game. It costs $100 million. Yeah, it's a little, well, not a little over.
Mhm.
It's 40 million over, but.
Well, I mean, you look at Astrobot. do not presume Astrobot is going to
It's
cost
not.
PlayStation $100+ million.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
guarantee you, from the underground buzz, I think it's going to do very well for them, and I think they're going to get their ROI. And I
It's
hate to
actually
be
a
the,
good game.
yeah,
I
and I
agree.
mean, like I think that was a massive tragedy for the studios involved. But I hate to put salt on wounds, but Hi-Fi Rush was definitely a great AA game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what they needed to understand, that we don't always as gamers want. Even for me, like right now, sometimes I want to play your Elden Rings and all that other stuff, but sometimes I just want to turn my brain off and play something mindless, like Wonder. So
What's that
Yeah.
game called? They shrink you down as bugs. I mean, they shrink the kids down as
Grounded,
bugs. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Grounded.
grounded. I'm
Get ground-
saying like over and over.
Yeah, I can't understand your language.
He doesn't understand Portuguese.
I don't know. Like
Oh,
I
God.
honestly I think sometimes, but honestly I think Bushido sometimes just wants to ignore me. That's
No
it.
fala português.
But you see, and therein lies the thing. I think that a lot of times these corporate execs behind a desk,
Wait,
they
you're not listening to the video, though, huh? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
but that's what I think I think that's where Microsoft is sort of mixing the message. They're like, okay, well, if we offer these players a really cheap buy-in, then we got everything. No, we're grateful that we have a cheap buy-in, relatively speaking, $20 a month. But that is not what makes us endeared to your platform. What makes us endeared to your platform are the games on said service.
Right.
If you tomorrow morning you have these bangers, as they say, quote unquote, and you're releasing them on a steady cadence, and tomorrow morning you said, okay, we changed our mind, we're having a 180, fuck it anymore, we're not going to do this anymore, we're not going to do this Game Pass anymore, it doesn't exist. If you want our games, pay them $70 a pop, like them or not, go to hell if you don't want them. If the games are compelling enough, guess what, we're going to buy them. I mean, and ain't nobody here who's saying otherwise. I'm anyone who's saying that, no, I'm not going to buy if Game Pass doesn't exist, you're a bold-faced liar, because if the game was compelling enough, you would pay $70 for it.
I was gonna buy Lies of P,
I
and
mean,
when it was day one, I was like, oh, I bet. And I still impressed that if it was to go off of Game Pass, I still would buy it. Love that game, but we have a lot of really great day one games. Excuse me,
Sage-
Fabian, I'm still speaking.
I mean,
Alright, I'm done
Sage
now.
once said as well, ain't nobody got time for that. So yeah.
But you guys understand what I'm trying to say. It's like, I think that what Xbox is sort of failing to realize is that, hey, or I think they're coming to that realization that, hey, compelling content is key, has always been key, will always be key. And
Yeah.
people will access your platform for that game. I know Phil Spencer said famously that we will not win the console. Well, we won't win if we just only make good games. I disagree with that. I mean, if you release a steady cadence of good games at a regular clip, then people will gravitate. And that's just the way things are. That's why Nintendo is going the way it's going. That's why PlayStation's going, because they have compelling content. They have,
Well,
you know.
But like, wouldn't you
Agreed.
consider that maybe they are saying that also because they are considering the facts that it doesn't matter how good a game is on Xbox, it's always going to receive lower grades compared to PlayStation and
Exactly.
Nintendo because of the media and all that type of stuff
Okay.
from
All right.
Xbox X and
Let's say-
this and
let-
that.
Let's play devil's advocate here, Fabio. Let's say you're right. Okay, there is an Xbox tax, and
Yeah.
they are deducted. Well, let's just call it a spade.
course
Say it
right.
is. Okay, and say, for example, that same game that would go as a 90 plus becomes an 85 plus on Xbox because of whatever, right? Because of the Xbox
Okay.
taxes, right? If you
Okay.
keep releasing your 85s, which are equivalent to a PlayStation 90s, but you're releasing it on a steady cadence, do you not think that would change the narrative?
No, only because the brand name of, in my opinion, I think the brand name of PlayStation is so big and so embedded into people's mind shares that they don't know any different or any better.
Well,
So
that's
that's
fine.
where I agree
I
with
say it
you.
would. I say it would change. It would just take, a few years.
take a
of them
long time.
releasing like 85s and whatnot.
Yeah,
You gotta
I'm not
think
gonna
about
say
it,
it's gonna
because
happen overnight. It's not one.
most of the average player do not care about first party content. That's for us hardcore gamers. Most average, I'm talking about average, like a kid who's little Timmy. I love little Timmy. Little Timmy and little Timmy. He gets his grandmother to go to Radio Shack. That's go get some
Get the
a system
Xbox with the batteries.
with the. So what happens is most of the time, most average people they just know PlayStation, unless they're in a house of gamers, which are they'll know Xbox and PlayStation or whatever, right, or PC. But
Mhm.
otherwise, besides that, most of them only know PlayStation, and then what they'll do is um, that mindset of what they did with as far as advertisement with Call of Duty all these years and all those other games, all the extra content, all that stuff made them feel like not only are they part of an exclusive demographic, but also it made them feel as if PlayStation is the only place where my friends play, so I'll play there. Remember,
Well, just
360
because
was
Yes,
you're
like
not,
that
just because
because
you're
our friends
selling
did live
burgers,
there.
well, just because you're selling burgers and fries, and your restaurant's name is not McDonald's, doesn't mean you can't be equally as successful selling
I'm
burgers
so
and fries.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
no.
but I'm sorry. I just want to point out Bob's and Burger King are really shit. No, just kidding.
Well, I
Listen,
mean,
if you open up KY Burgers next to McDonald's, and
I'm not
KY
going to eat at
Burger,
a burger joint called KY. I am sorry, that is not happening.
Hey,
Okay, I
why
want.
jelly in your
Wait,
burgers?
wait. I'm sorry. Are you not? Are you not going to support your good old friend
No, because
Bobby
the only
if he
meat,
decides to
when I
open up
walk into a burger
a
joint, the
restaurant?
only meat I want to be thinking about
He's got
is
a
the
lot of
meat
money.
between the hamburger buns, not with the meat that is implied when you say KY burgers. Okay.
listen,
I mean,
man,
I'm so. I
everybody
mean,
knows
I'm
KY
so.
stands for Kentucky.
It should be
Come on,
called
man.
KY in your tummy.
I'm surprised that.
That better be flavored, KY.
I'm surprised that like Bob has so
Cinnamon
much
gummy
money.
bear.
Bob has so much money. I'm surprised he's not like the CEO of the Cleveland Cavaliers, honestly, because for fuck's sake.
Whoa. First of all, Bobby owns a steak
They're just
inside
not
of
good. That's why he's
Kentucky.
selling them yet.
I'd have never let LeBron
Sorry if
leave
that-
if that had been the case.
No, but that's a legitimate question. Let me ask. Okay, so Bushido, what you're saying is there's absolutely no chance for Xbox to change zeitgeist because of how embedded PlayStation is, and I guarantee you that. I
think
guarantee you. I guarantee you that.
like guys, mainly are front runners, and
Yeah,
and whatever they grew up on, that's what they're gonna gravitate towards, and it's gonna take not one generation. I think it's gonna take 2 generations of popping stronger games
hmm
and getting advertising rights and being inside the households will change it then. But I don't think you could do it. Just my opinion. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying from my viewpoint.
I'm just
I
saying
don't
I'm
think you
right.
could do it here.
I'm
No,
not
I
saying you're
totally
wrong. I'm just saying I'm right.
No, I totally agree with what you're saying, Bushido. I agree. I don't think that. I think that for Xbox to get to become what to get
Please.
to the point where their name carries as much weight as PlayStation does is a pretty steep uphill battle. That being said, again,
Not
just because your store sells burgers and fries and it's not McDonald's doesn't mean it can't be successful. Okay, it
just
could be
gotta sell fish
successful
and
doing
chips.
That's just successful. The metric for successful is you making more money than you spend.
exactly. That's all it is
but-
at the end of the day.
Are you more successful than McDonald's? And that's a big thing. Like Burger King, I love Burger King, but it's not as successful as McDonald's, unfortunately. Because
But if
I
it's
love
making money, what difference does it make? If it makes
Right.
money and
Yeah,
doesn't
right.
have the number one, okay, so what? Okay,
have it your
you be
way.
a profitable number 3. Okay, all right.
yeah.
So-
But see, we see it that way when it comes to Xbox. But people who want to switch, that's a different thing. They don't care about that to some degree. They only use it in console war crap. But for the most part, they don't necessarily care unless their friends are switching over to the other console. If they can get their friends, I think Call of Duty is a big thing to get people to do that in Game Pass. If you could get your friends to switch over because you're switching over to Call of Duty and Game Pass to Xbox, oh yeah, that'll make a huge difference.
Oh yeah.
Do you think that Xbox has sort of accepted that fact? Because somewhere in my gut, I feel that Xbox believes that, you know what, you're right, Bushido, we're never going to be a PlayStation. So they're like, well, fuck it. If we're not going to be a PlayStation, that's fine. How do we make this thing profitable? Well, if they buy our games and as long as they're buying our games or accessing our games and playing them, they are paying us money. So they're like, okay, well, fuck it. We're not going to win the console war, console for console. So we're just going to put our games everywhere and say, okay, you want to play it on Steam? You want to play Xbox game, our game on Steam? Great, play our game. You want to play it on PlayStation? Great, play our game. You want to play it on Nintendo? Great, play our game. You want to play it accessing a subscription service for $20 a month? Great, play our game. If you want to access it by $70 piecemealing it, great, play our game. We don't care how you play it, just play the damn thing, right? So I
They
think
become the farm.
they become the buffet, right? Like, and the difference I'd say is this, right? Like the difference between, to me, and there's no slight against Xbox, so please don't take it this way. The difference between Xbox to me and like a PlayStation to me is the difference that you would get between a regular PC or an Apple or a high-end steakhouse or a nice sit down glove, white glove service dinner versus, like Golden Corral. Can you get a really damn good steak at Golden Corral? Hell yeah. But,
That's how I say, oh yeah.
yeah, hell yeah, you can get a really nice. Some of the best ribeyes I've had are at Golden Corral. They're
Dang.
sizzling and shit, But is it gonna be like the same experience as if you ate it up like Morton's or whatever?
Roots Chris.
Roots Chris, Peter Luger. No, of course not. But they all have their things. Like you don't always want to go to a Peter Luger's. Like I freaking can't afford it. And nor do you always want to eat at Golden Corral. So you just want that dichotomy, if you will.
Right.
And I think that they've come to that understanding. And you know what? More strength to them. Great. You're doing a Nintendo ploy. Nintendo knew that they're not going to win this console war, component for component against PlayStation, Xbox. They found their own. They tracked their own course, and they are successful for it. Did they have growing pains? But yeah.
They wound up winning.
Yeah, you need to. Yeah, when you take into consideration the history of Nintendo with the Wii U, it's basically what Wise Old Gamers said. Like Nintendo discovered that they are not able to compete by doing the traditional console on console battle, so they decided to let's make a portable console. But that is also a tabletop one. They decided to create their own thing, and they are the only ones doing that.
Yeah, this is true.
For now,
No,
we need
well,
to take
yeah.
into consideration that
For now.
maybe Microsoft might release something.
Maybe.
Just maybe. Wink, wink.
Maybe.
It's Koozie Balloon. Look, Koozie
No,
Balloon.
what?
Mr. Bush, was that on purpose?
No, it's supposed to be Beluga. Yeah, I did that wrong. Whatever.
Oh, damn. Autocorrect.
Cozy Bazinga.
Yeah. Anyway, she knows.
Yeah.
It knows. I'm not even sure. Okay, maybe it's best for us to not.
And I think
ask.
the day ones help though. Those day ones from those other third party. To me, that's what helped last year to be so successful. Having the third parties was a really big thing. The funny part is a lot of the guys that are on Twitter, of course, that argue anything, they always ignore that unless it's PlayStation. And then whenever they talk about games, they're like, yeah, we got Helldivers and it's like, you name it third party games.
Yep.
Got Vinny in there sliding in with his second account going, yeah.
I really wish.
Yeah.
I really wish the first Descendant would really take off because it's free to play across every platform.
Yep.
With Helldivers 2, yeah, it's a great game, but they cut a platform off. it didn't come to.
Yeah, that hurt.
Did y'all
see
like
it.
the first Descendant? I didn't care for it.
I love it. I'm playing it
I
now.
haven't played it yet. I'm gonna play it today.
Who are you playing as? Are you playing as that guy with the big helmet with the horns on his head, or that other guy who
Hey,
throws grenades?
So that was my
Thank
first
God.
character, Ajax.
Hey.
Yeah.
I got my second character, Bunny, and now I'm on my third character, Freya. I haven't put a single dollar into this game either.
Okay, you dodged the bullet there. Like, are you playing as the guy with the big helmets? And I was so afraid what you
Maybe
I
were
there's
am-
that horny guy.
I am because he's the tank, and I need as much health and armor as possible. That's why.
Bunny's
Yeah,
where it's at
Bobby.
though. She's like OP, man.
Well, I mean, you know, to pivot back to what you were saying with the Nintendo before, I had to step away from the mic. I had to talk to my son for a second. But you know, they looked at what they said. Okay, what is working for us? Well, what's working for them at that time was the handheld. But the problem was that their development houses were split between the handheld division and the console division. And they're like, well, if there's a way to merge this, which they attempted with the Wii U with a poor implementation, then we can get the best of both worlds. And when they did the Switch, true enough, it was underpowered, but then we already knew that going in that was going to be underpowered because it's a Nintendo game, because the Nintendo never was always, you know, power parity. But it did combine, it enabled them to combine both their handheld and their, division. So they were able to make out more games. Xbox is in the same situation. They say, okay, well, what's working for us? Well, we are able to, because of our big trillion-dollar company, we are able to do this streaming service so that we can have our games accessible in multiple avenues. So so can we still make profit doing this? Yeah, because the game is where you make profit, never on the console. So they're like, okay, well, let's just cater to our strengths. And I think, especially with the release of the handheld, if they have a handheld and works, which they think they do, I think it's going to be very successful for them, very lucrative. Because even if PlayStation releases a handheld, this is what I'm going to go online and say, on record to say. I think thanks to Game Pass, even if it's $20 a month, if there is an Xbox handheld and a PlayStation handheld, Xbox handheld will outsell the PlayStation handheld, in my opinion.
Oh,
You know why I could agree with that? They're not. They've messed up with that Portal, and I think that one of the things that messed them up with the Portal was the optics of it. It just doesn't look good, and I think a lot of PlayStation people felt the same way about it. But it being off of your game console being its server, I don't think that was necessarily a bad idea. But it would all depend on your internet service for your home and for where you are. So that's why it kind of hurts. But for cloud gaming or native playing, that would be way more expensive though. Because I have the ROG, and that I remember when it first came out, it was $700. I was fortunate enough to buy it for $400 off of one of our guys, and I'm not sure if Xbox can meet in that lower tier like that for something that we asked for to do all that. It would be about $500. But I do agree. I think it would sell more because we are more hungry for something that does that, as opposed to PlayStation guys. PlayStation guys really wanted something separate from their PlayStation to a degree, like the PSP and the Vita. But I'd rather prefer to have something that I could play with my my games on it, you know.
natively.
Hey, Mr.
Yeah,
Noof
natively.
Nukem in the chat.
Like,
No.
yo,
He says
Nukem.
he wants everybody to know Game Pass giving it to you in the ass. All to know.
Good. Decided to come back here to say that you're not welcome anymore. No, just kidding.
Oh,
Just kidding. We love you, Noof. We miss you.
yeah.
Or
But-
do we? No, just kidding. We do.
But at the end of the day,
No, we do. I mess with you. I was just sitting
We
here
do.
doing
We
something.
definitely do.
Trying to build my character up.
well, yeah, at the end of the day, it's going to be interesting to see. I don't think any of these platform holders are going to go anywhere. Being the third biggest publisher in the gaming division still makes you a shit ton of money. So, yeah, like I don't see the need or necessity. I think that the strategy they have in place is interesting. It's never been employed in a gaming market like this. So, yeah, it would be let's sort of see how it pans out. Like if you can, we've never had a console developer who said, okay, well, we are going to make these games and we're going to make them accessible everywhere, even if it's not on our console. So what does that even mean? Well, anyone predicting or being able to prognosticate how the 5-year trajectory looks or the 10-year trajectory is just fooling themselves, because this is uncharted territory and we don't have a precedent to follow on this. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
I mean, could we consider Xbox right now is still as like the
Well, doing
third
it.
biggest or biggest publisher? I know, like they are in third place when it comes to the gaming business compared to Nintendo and PlayStation, of course. Like when you think that they own Activision Blizzard and they own Bethesda, and they clearly demonstrated that they are not going to stop putting some games or tons of games on the PlayStation and on the Nintendo Switch. Like I don't know, it just kind of makes me feel like okay, they are still at third place when it comes to gaming, but when it comes to like publishing games, I don't know, they seem to be a little bit higher because again, they got Call of Duty, they got Elder Scrolls, they got they got everything related to Blizzard. You know what I mean?
They're definitely in first place when it comes to mind share, because that's all the ponies want to talk about is Xbox.
Oh yeah, they're living rent free in those minds. They've been living rent free. I've been living rent free in those minds for what now going on, 15 years or something like that. You know,
Yeah.
so yeah.
So,
I don't understand why.
But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, this is a corporation. They don't really care if they're first place, second place, third place, fourth place. They want to see, okay, is our profit from this year higher than our profit from last year? And if the answer is yes, yeah. I'll put it this way. Say, for example, their profit was higher, but they're still losing money. Let's flip the script here. Let's say they're the number one console guy or in gaming, period. They're bigger than Nintendo. They're bigger than PlayStation, right? In the zeitgeist. If they're still not making any money, and Microsoft is still going to flounder them, or they're going to say, you got to do something else. I mean, you're not making any money. Yeah, true enough, you've got the number one brand in the industry, but if at the end of the day, the bottom line is that you show no growth or negative growth, then you're not worth it. It's not worth it.
yeah, true. I still go back to the math that I did last year when people were saying, "Oh, it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable," and even if you do the math, and even if you used a very conservative figure like 33 million Game Pass subscribers, and you did the math, you were still like 5 billion a year. Is what you came out with. And then they just.
But that is not our problem. You sitting here and doing that. That is.
Oh, I know.
That is not our problem, whether they're profitable or not. That's Microsoft's problem. That's Xbox's problem. My problem as a gamer is one and one only. Do you have anything compelling in your perspectives that makes me want to play?
Yeah, I get my money's worth. Yep. I
Yeah,
think it's
that's
Like, do I get any benefits from it? And I'm not necessarily talking about like exclusivity deals. I'm not talking about exclusive games. I'm literally like talking about what can you offer me? Are you going to have this specific game, or what are your first party studios, or how is the internet service? Or just like right now we are living in the Game Pass era. We are living in the subscription service era. What subscription service do you have in your platform? So like, if a platform honestly, if a platform manages to, let's say, a brand new platform decides to be released, literally, like, I don't know, Ouya decided to come back. Let's put it like that. Like, what? I think that they would have a much better chance if they actually had a really good subscription system service, just like Game Pass. And if it is better than Game Pass and offer like the same games minus the, of course, the first party stuff from Microsoft, they maybe might have they might have a chance. I don't know. I really think that nowadays subscription service are a huge value to a platform as well.
Yeah, I think Bob was talking about it sustaining itself though, and it is making enough money to sustain itself, and that because if you think about it, wasn't PlayStation's biggest growth for the year for that 1 year $5 billion as far as like for the year, so Game Pass in itself is sustainable, and then you got game sales in itself and microtransactions and all that crap like that that they make money off of. Um, I get what you were saying, Bobby. I just want to let you know somebody was listening.
Yeah, it's still
Thanks.
still a lot of money. I mean, if you look at it in terms of how much they spent on Activision Blizzard, it's just a drop in the bucket. But let's say if they hadn't, let's just go by Bethesda. Would they buy Bethesda for like 7? Okay, well they made that.
7.5 billion.
Okay, well they damn near made all of that back with just 1 year of Game Pass subs.
Right? Yeah.
It's the 70 billion one where you go, whoo, you're
Yeah.
10 years out from making that, buddy. You either better raise the price or you better get your subs up. And I think
And that's what I was going to say too. I think that's what
Black
caused
Ops
it.
6
think-
was going to do both of those. It's going to get subs up.
Yeah, I
and
think it is going to. Yes, I think that for the day ones are very expensive, and the like you said, buying ABK was super expensive. So, like you said, though, with Black Ops, I can't wait for that game. Black Ops drops is going to be a different story. You get that PlayStation money, and the Xbox money. I love seeing the PlayStation guys say boycott COD this year, and it's like, dude, the casuals don't even hear you. I don't even think you know that only the hardcore are on Twitter or crap like that, and only a certain percentage are hardcore. And secondly,
What happened? What?
the game, nobody's gonna boycott COD. Give me a break. We've been trying to boycott Madden for years. Nobody's boycotting that game.
This just in, Wizo Gamer, our thoughts and prayers are with you, sir. He Wise
What just happened?
Wise says that his house just got hit by lightning and the power went out.
Sheesh.
Ah, what the? Seriously?
Yes.
God damn.
So everybody,
Yeah, well, throw some prayers, man.
Prayer for you
Throw some
guys.
prayers. Throw some prayers.
that's tough. That had to be some scary
hopefully-
shit.
Hopefully everything is okay. Nobody got hurt. Hopefully.
That's like a
Well, since he has a cell phone, he can still order DoorDash. So
Oh, if he has his cell phone and he still has internet, just bring your ass back here to finish the podcast. No, just kidding.
Yeah, what do you think you're
Just
doing, Wise?
oh goodness.
My lord.
what you got, Bobby? What else you got?
What do I got?
I mean, there
There's a lot of
was. Did you guys see the news that Tom Warren said that Xbox is leaving Europe?
Yes,
Oh.
Makes
I
sense.
did see that.
And how fun it is the fact that literally okay, Xbox is completely leaving Europe, even though they are going to be doing their biggest stand on Gamescom. That happens in Europe. How funny!
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like I said,
I don't know.
I
Like,
saying this before. That listen,
I
some
don't know.
guy.
I don't know. Like I do like what a lot of stuff that Tom Warren posts, and like he is quite the credible source. But I don't know. I think he is just literally trying to many times throughout this year. He's just literally trying to like do some bait thing, a bait report, and see if it sticks with people. Like, remember all the commotion that happened for the Halo Combat Evolved remake that is coming to PlayStation, and then literally an employer from Microsoft said, "I consider this guy unresponsible." By the way, he used the word consider that Microsoft is considering doing that, and guess what? I considered doing a haircut, and then I decided to not do a haircut. Just giving an example that, like, just because you are saying that people quote unquote consider doing something doesn't mean that they're going to be doing
Going to
that.
do it.
So, like,
I
I
consider
don't
the
know.
people.
I don't know. I don't know what's the deal with him right now. Don't
I
worry.
know
Like,
people are saying that stuff about third-party games. When our first-party games are going to PlayStation, I was like, why is everybody jumping off a bridge and no one has substantiated these claims? It's just guys just talking, and people were just in group chats were like panicking, and they was like, "Ah, the Xbox is better not." And I was like, "Dude, calm down." Like it's just one person reporting, and you know how many times they report things that, like you just said, is it was a conversation, and the conversation could have been like, "Hey, look, I think it might be a good idea this and that." And you'd be like, "Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea if you shut up," and that's it. So why am I giving credence to something that has been substantiated yet? Like once that's been substantiated, then you can have these conversations. Now
yes.
you can have the conversation like, "Hey, what if?" But the whole man, they do this, I'm doing this. And if yeah, I just think it's stupid that they'll do this. And I'm just like, well, what
It's because
the
it's not
hell?
going. It's because it's not going both ways. Is what it is. Because if you
Uh,
yeah, if you look at the games that were released on PlayStation from Xbox, you got Sea of Thieves, you got Grounded, Hi-Fi Rush, and Pentiment. Okay, well you could
Fans-
say
and and now and now it's going to have also Call of Duty coming later this
right,
year,
but
and Doom the Dark Ages next year. Not saying that it is something bad or justifies their argument. I'm just listing all the games that we know so far.
so
right.
I mean we're talking about either established franchises that are beloved across all the platforms, or
Yes.
games that really are community driven, like Elder Scrolls Online, Sea of Thieves. If you look at it like that, it's still only happening on one side of the aisle. Like Helldivers 2
Yeah.
would have been a great game to release on all platforms, but it
Yes.
didn't happen. And that's where the disconnect and the argument happens online on social media, because you have one side kind of embracing this, growing our communities, and the other side saying, "No, we're fine with just ourselves and PC."
You know, the
Okay,
funny
but
part is
like,
Xbox Community would have held that game up.
Oh yeah,
Helldivers, they would have held that
no.
game up.
But here's the thing. Here's the funny thing. The very funny thing. They seem to be like taking the knee, to that, because like they are seem to be changing. Because why do I think they seem to be changing? Because literally a first party game from PlayStation Studio. And no, it's not a situation of we are respecting the borrowed license from the owners of the license, like MLB The Show, which forced PlayStation to or either you release this on Xbox as
Yeah,
well, or we are taking away, or the situation with Marathon from Bungie, which is a first party studio. Marathon is a first party game from PlayStation, doesn't matter. It is kind of the same situation here as well. Like, you got Horizon Lego Horizon coming to the Nintendo Switch. Ah, but does it make sense? It doesn't. Like there was this guy on Twitter for some reason. Literally made a Twitter post bigger than my master's degree dissertation. Honestly, like it's amazing how much that motherfucker
Yeah,
decided to
master's?
write. Like it try. I am
Like
a
anything
master's degree
possible.
student. I am
Oh,
a
okay.
master's degree student. Actually, I am going to defend and get the title by the end of this year. Honestly, if everything works out
Anything
quite well.
possible.
And
Sorry.
yeah, the guy decided to try to prove to everyone, no, PlayStation is not to be considered as a third-party publisher because the Nintendo Switch does not compete with PlayStation. And you're like, okay, so PlayStation is a third-party publisher then.
You know, it's I don't know. I mean, so if Xbox did the same thing and just we can't say. I mean, and don't get me wrong. I think Sony will get there because Microsoft is 10 years ahead of Sony as far as games on platforms because we've been experiencing Xbox games on PC for the last decade. And now, here in the last couple of years, PlayStation games have been going to PC, but not Xbox. And then for 10 years ago, Xbox games are going to PC, but not PlayStation. So I think if you give it some time, then you'll start to see the trickle of community-driven games being crossing the aisle from PlayStation onto Xbox.
I don't know because Helldivers is on PC too, and
Correct.
you know
That's what I'm saying.
maybe the game's just not that good too. Also, I don't know.
No, no, but it's not a situation of the game is not that good. It's a situation where PlayStation fucked everything in terms of the momentum of that game because they decided to do that PlayStation ID thing, which blocked the game in regions where people already bought the game. So they bought the game and they would not be able to play it. It wasn't just a situation like people were trying to make fun of, saying that, wait, Xbox asks you to do an account, Ubisoft asks you to do an account, and when PlayStation asks you to do the same, you are going to complain? Makes no sense whatsoever. But the problem is, you are not able to have a PlayStation ID in every region. And they were selling the
I'm like,
game.
well,
They were
just get
selling Helldivers
VPN.
to those regions. It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
So people bought the game and they were not able to play the goddamn game. So people were right to be pissed off.
What were you saying, Vinny? Huh? I thought I heard you say something.
Use a VPN,
Yeah.
which will get you banned if you use a VPN on PSN.
Yeah.
This is a VPN.
You're so stupid. What do you want to do that for?
So easy, dog. All you guys want to do is complain.
Hey, I can watch Europe Netflix in the U.S. by using a VPN, but I can't do the same with PlayStation Network. It's stupid.
Where am I going?
Oh my
All you
goodness.
Europeans are just lazy.
Yeah, you're just lazy. Oh, I'm
And
sorry.
uneducated.
I'm sorry. You can't get PSN in your country? Well, fucking move. That's what you gotta do. You gotta move. You gotta pay the price. Pay to play, baby. It's what you do.
God,
You pay.
I just hate Japanese people. It's so fucking.
Oh my
Showing.
God. Hey, Japan hates the Xbox. Get it right. That's the way it is.
Japan hates Xbox.
The PlayStation is paying them not to release games on Xbox, but let's forget about facts.
Yeah.
You want to pay fucking $80, which is $2,000 in Greece?
I don't even know what.
Hey,
It is so much better to spend $70 in just one game instead of paying $20 in more than 200 games that you don't own.
You
It's
know,
only
Well,
70,000
let's
reais a fucking year. Jesus.
listen.
Even do you need to Even though physical releases are literally just a license on a disc.
That's right.
Who cares?
I like
I
to
have
own
the
my
box.
game.
The difference is
I like to own my game.
the difference is I can touch that disc. I can touch that case. I can display
touch that
that. I can
disc.
display that on my wall of shame.
I could
It's
take it out on a
physical.
date.
That's right.
I mean, it's just like that. I mean, it's just like that situation with the Nintendo Switch, because like the Nintendo Switch, either you buy the digital game, or you buy the case, which just have an amazingly small cartridge, honestly. And you're like, okay, what's the fucking difference? Well, one I have the box, the other
it's
one I
not
don't
about
have the box.
It's not about the size of the boat. All right, Fabio. It's about the motion of the ocean.
Oh. I don't know.
Yeah, the funny thing is, most of those guys will say, like, I could play the games as many times as I want. It's like, dude, most of us Xbox gamers, once we beat a game, we have to move on. Like, there's too many other games to play. You guys like to play the same game over and over and over and over again. Okay, that makes you happy, but don't dump on everybody else because they won't do the same dumb mess.
You either do it the Sony way, or you don't do it at all.
Yeah. Duh.
Real quick though, let me ask this.
Okay.
Hey Bobby,
Go ahead
did you
and
hear
ask.
they may be bringing PS3 emulation to Xbox?
Yes.
Oh
Bobby,
yeah,
did you
with
hear
the developer
Did
mode.
you? Did you?
Xbox gonna get it
Yeah.
done before Sony does. Oh yeah.
Won't you?
Mhm.
Won't your Bobby know this info like me?
PC's been able to do that for
Oh,
years.
Bobbin notices.
Well, I know
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
Of course, we know
Just
that.
saying. Just saying.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, I can't get mad at that. The Rock could do
course
it
you
too. The Rock could do it too. I could
All
do it
right,
with The Rock. I
guys.
just don't want to.
All right, guys. Let's do our outros and let's get on out of here.
All right.
All right.
This episode sponsored by Rocket Money. You have a hard time keeping up with all your bills?
Do you need Rocket Money to talk to Microsoft for you and get that monthly payment of Game Pass down a few dollars?
Can't get in contact with PlayStation shitty customer service?
Like, that's too bad.
That's
Too bad. We don't help with that. But Rocket Money does everything else. Now for only $9.99 a month.
That's right. We promise
are you
it won't go
are you
up.
suffering right now from a terminal sickness? Well, sucks to be you. Just or someone.
Well, welcome to Raid Shadow Legends.
As a- welcome to Raid Shadow Legends. It's sponsored by World of Tanks.
That's right.
Thanks for another one.
Play Warships right now. Get this free package. 1 million
And the
gold.
funny thing is, every single one of those fuckers are from the same company.
All right.
We'll give you
God
1
damn.
million gold for the next 30 days, but we won't tell you that 1 million gold won't buy you anything.
How about you shit?
It sounds like a lot.
Spins, kid.
We will give you 1 million gold, but you need to understand that our cosmetics costs 500 billion gold.
500 billion.
Fabio,
So get in the grind.
where can people find you at, sir?
Well, you can find me in Raid Shadow Legends. No, just
And
kidding.
Raid in Brazil.
Jesus.
You can find me on Twitter as FBO Marine 97. You can find me also on Xbox as Buffalo Lizard 8. And besides here on the KY Bobby Show, the Game Set Life podcast, you can find me also on the XPN Network YouTube channel as part of the XPL Party podcast.
All right.
I try to Google Buffalo Lizard, and there's nothing there.
Hey, do you know how to
It's a
write
mythical
my
creature.
gamer?
It's a mythical creature found in the
It's like the
ethos of
chupacabra of
gaming.
Brazil,
Yeah.
a buffalo lizard.
Never. But by the way, the
It
chupa.
has a
by the
master's
way,
degree, just so you know.
I,
That's how you
I,
know
I
it's a
mean,
buffalo
by the way,
lizard.
I mean, by the way, the chupacabra is from Mexico, from what I know. But okay,
The chupacabra only has a bachelor's.
Yes.
The
That's
Buffon
what I've heard
lizard
of.
has a master's
Voilà.
in Brazil.
I have a master's.
So
There you
that's the
go,
difference.
now you know.
Soon enough, I shall have a doctorate, and I will open every single one of you to call me Doctor Fabio.
Dr.
You're
Buffalo
gonna have to,
lizard.
you're gonna have to
That's
change your
great.
name. You're gonna have to be like
They call
Buffon,
me
Buffon,
Dr. Love,
Buffon
they
Eagle,
call me Dr. Love.
Buffon Eagle
Mm.
6,
An eagle?
Buffon Eagle 6.
Why eagle?
Well, if you get a
Why
doctor,
eagle?
if you get a doctor,
My
you can't
name
be
is-
a lizard no more.
Lizard eagle. I come from the four corners.
Lizard eagle.
Oh,
It's part of the evolution. It's part of the evolution, everybody.
Mr. Bushido N7, sir, where can people find you?
At Candy Crush.
Warships.
Candy Crush.
Bingo nights at your local YMCA every Thursday at 7 p.m. Be there or be square.
It's
At
right
Candy
now.
Crush and at Warframe.
When when you first walk into Walmart, I'll be that fellow that comes out and says, "Hey, you need a buggy?"
No, the guy's like,
You're-
hey man, let me see your receipt.
Yeah.
So you can find me in Xbox, PlayStation, Twitter,
Don't
Buffalo
lie.
Lizard. You can find me there.
Don't lie.
And,
You can
Okay.
find.
Mr.
Wait.
Bushido.
Okay, we can find you on Buffon Lizard. What the fuck are you talking about right now?
It's a website I'm gonna invent
Oh.
some years from now.
Ah.
It'll be another social media experience, you know.
Okay. So are you going to literally like get a lizard and put a tuxedo on it? Is
Yes.
that what you're going to?
Oh, you can find me on TikTok too.
Oh,
You find me on TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
too.
Doing the
So,
TikTok dances of the
doing the
year.
TikTok dance and all that stuff.
all right. Can't wait.
And
I'm
on
gonna,
YouTube.
I'm gonna check that shit out.
And on the
I'm
YouTube.
gonna do it. Oh, you so Vinny,
You're-
sir.
You're good.
Where can people
Yes,
find
sir.
you?
Do it. You
Where
can
can, where can they find you? Huh? Where at in your PC do you reside?
Within the GPU.
the GD.
You can find me on all
In League of
the
Legends.
websites you can think of.
At League of Legends.
all-
Yeah, so many.
All the sides you
Right.
can think of.
Yep.
You might not want to. You might want to change a little bit of that phrase. Be more specific.
Nope. I'm perfectly
No?
fine.
I can find you some video at Smite. It's Power World.
Mm, wow. Yeah, I'm
Yep, just playing First Ascendant. And that's where you'll find me.
Is playing all games at the same time.
That's right.
I am omnipotent.
Omnipotent with my 4 monitors going with 4 platforms screaming. Ah! I'm surprised we didn't bring up the ad. You know, I know we've all seen the ad. It's plastered everywhere. This game is so beautiful, you'll never uninstall it.
What game is that?
I don't know.
There's so much ass you'll never look away.
I've never clicked on it. I don't know.
Oh my God.
This is KY Bobby, and thank you for visiting the KY Bobby channel and listening to this band of misfits on the Games That Love podcast. And when I'm not here, I am playing League of Legends and living in my GPU as well. That's right, you heard it here first. On Xbox,
And he is the
PlayStation,
night guy.
Steam, YouTube, Twitter, they're all KY Bobby. And then I'm also returned to my roots. I am now a permanent panelist back on the XBL Party Podcast, where we had fun today on the XBL Network YouTube channel. Good times.
Bobby es hasta Asian if you guys didn't know.
Bobby's
I
going
mean-
places.
What?
Bobby, I don't know if
Last
we
name is
decided,
Lee?
but what? Bobby, I wanted to understand why you're talking like an Indian. Why?
I am not an Indian, but I want you to know that I'm so happy to be in your beautiful country.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, I think the show was very, very good. I don't know if you can manage how excited I am to be here, but you,
Tomorrow,
okay, I can keep this up.
tomorrow you can find the audio version uploaded to wherever you get your podcasts. Yes.
If we don't get
Fuchsia
canceled
says
by
every
every single
Thursday at
culture.
4 p.m. Pacific Standard.
Okay, so I'm the Indian. Bob is the is
I'm saying, I don't know
what,
what
the
Bob
Asian.
is now. After I heard Fabio's, I was like, Bobby's doesn't sound Indian now.
I'm just trying to understand what kind of accent he's doing. Like Vin is doing a Japanese accent right now. Go, but should do an Irish one.
Chinese.
He said, Irish. Oh, you know what's funny? That's the one accent I could barely do, and I'm like 2% Irish or whatever. Yo, it's
Okay.
amazing. Can't
Hey,
even do it.
if you need me to come out, if you need me to bring out Bobby from the Bronx, I can do it. You know. One day
Let's see, I could-
we was out on the corner, okay? We was playing League of Legends
Yeah.
and Battle for Warships, and that one game you'll never uninstall because it's so beautiful. And we was hanging out there on the corner in the Bronx, and that's just what we got down. Yeah.
I remember walking up to Bobby and say, "Hey, Bobby, you have a problem going on there?" He's like, "Forget about it." So I forgot about it.
Ah, forget about it. She's always doing
Hey,
that.
I'm walking here.
Forget about it.
Where you going? The YMCA?
Hey,
The
and
boy.
okay, and before we get out of here, as I always say, get out, touch some grass, hug somebody you love, and game on, everybody.
And grab some.
See you next week.
Ooh.